I know this will sound crazy, but Jesus would love to just have been crucified. God will not rebuke me for saying this, but if you have watched Passion of the Christ, some of you guys would have been like, oh no, that's horrible. But some people like me were watching it and I was like, that's not even that bad. Because the way they depicted it wasn't that bad, okay? It was like a kid version of what actually happened. Jesus would have loved to just die like that. And Jesus' real crucifixion was in Mark chapter 15, verse 21 to 41. I'm not going to read everything there because it's going to be too long, but let me just give you a brief summary of how bad it was. During the crucifixion, they like cut around here and then Jesus' intestines were like hanging out. They like cut his like private part area apart and they couldn't tell whether he was a boy or a girl. They pinned a nail at where his nerves were at and his spine was coming out. Maybe like usually people who get crucified die within like 18 hours or 1 day, but he died way before that because of how much pain he was going through. And that is why Jesus asked God, please, is there any other way? If this is your will, it will be done. Even Jesus himself, who was a reincarnation of God, did not want to die like that. But during those few hours, the most painful thing for Jesus was God not being in his presence. He went through all of those pain for us, just to die for our sins. And think about it this way. Each time you choose to sin by choice, you're making Jesus relive that moment over and over again for our sin. He died the most brutal death for us, just so God will be less harsh on us when we sin. But that doesn't mean you should sin. Do not use God's grace for nothing. Stop making Jesus go through the same pain over and over again. But remember to stay righteous, and no matter what, God and Jesus both loves you, and I hope God blesses you.